Here's the team I used to win the second Tempest Cup at SF State. It was nice that I already had Skarmory, Wishcrash, and Frostlass from past cups. That Altaria and Lantern are just beasts in general. And then Abomasnow, I didn't bother adding a second charge move since I'm just going to be using it for Razor Leaf mostly. And my opponent for the first round had a pretty unique team. Overall, I felt like I could be pretty safe with Altaria. I'm not really afraid of a Mamoswine, just the Skarmory. But that is what he led with. I don't want to give up switch advantage right away, of course, so I'm just going to play it out a little bit. I am lagging, which doesn't help my cause at all. And so he gets his first Sky Attack off. And then I finally started doing my damage and get to my Sky Attack. And then it doesn't end up showing here, but he actually used the shield there, surprisingly, since he resists it. And then he's gonna get his off back to back pretty quick, and I just decided to let Altaria faint. And then I think I clicked the wrong Pokemon because Wishcash, now it's back to Mudshot, doesn't do well in this matchup. I got the switch glitch, so I just go to Frostlass anyway. And I go with an Avalanche that he ends up burning a second shield on, so now I'm in a good position. I use my first shield to protect Frostlass. I know I'm gonna get the Avalanche faster here. And here it goes, and it faints him. And then I'll surprise you with Trophy since it's double weak to ice. I mean, Razor Leaf hits hard, but I'm able to one-shot it here. And probably didn't make a difference because just Raikou left. And I get to Avalanche right away because it's OP and Frostlass is great without shields. He finishes me off, but I have Mud Bomb ready, so that's the first round. So I don't feel like I need to change much except for my lead in case he goes Skarmory again, and he does. That's why I have Lantern, which is a great matchup for me. Water Gun hits it for solid neutral damage, and then my Thunderbolt's pretty fast, and I get him to burn a shield here. It doesn't show it. And I'm not afraid of Sky Attack because Electric resists that. And then it plays out pretty much the same here, and I'm actually going to get him to burn his second shield right away again, so I'm in good shape here. And Flash Cannon's even less effective since water and electric resist it. So I'm just going to feint it with Water Gun and save up my charge for whatever comes in next. But I make the mistake of not using Hydro Pump fast enough. I ended up wasting all that energy. And I really wanted to use my Mamoswine for Tempest, but it's really frail in Great League, so I one-shot it there with Shadow Ball. And then he goes with a second Skarmory. I kind of asked him about that after. He meant to use his Magneton, I guess, because you're not supposed to use duplicates. But again, with no shields, I wear it down, and I still have Altaria at full health, so I use the shield here just to finish it off, and that's GG. Next, I'm facing Mark, who was my only loss in the Tempest the week before. So I kind of know his team already, and I know he likes to lead with Lapras. So I'm going to start off with Lantern here. And he does go Lapras, so I'm going to scare him into a switch right away. But it's kind of surprising he went to the Skarmory since this is still a good matchup for me. He did this last week as well, and then I ended up hitting it really hard with a Thunderbolt right away. He probably saved his shield since he knew that was a losing battle. Sky Attack's not very effective, so I don't need to use my shield. And then he comes back with his own Lantern. He obviously has the health advantage, but I have all this energy I saved up. And Thunderbolt actually hits surprisingly hard as a neutral attack there. And I'm actually able to get one more off before he can get his first one. So I forced him to burn shield. And then I'm going to use my shield to finish him off with my Lantern still. And then I ended up just using Thunderbolt instead of trying to finish off with Water Gun in case he gets to his charge move. So he's left with Lapras. And then he gets to Surf already. I don't need his shield, just that little bit of health for Lantern. Don't have a great matchup with Altaria for neutral damage, and I can get a Sky Attack pretty quick, make him use his last shield, and he's wrecking me with his Ice Fast move, so it's obviously not worth using his shield there. So now down to Frostlass, and it's a race to get to my Shadow Ball since he has shields down. He has Surf charged right away because it's ridiculously fast, and another one stored up, but I can take one hit there. And then I'm able to get Shadow Ball and finish him off here for the first battle. For the next one, I'm changing up my lineup, so he's probably anticipating Lantern. But Skarmory's not in a good matchup against Alolan Sandslash because the Steel typing resists my flying moves. So I guess Sky Attack doesn't do much. And then I know Blizzard's coming, so I've shielded that, so it'll hit me hard. And I'm able to get another Sky Attack since Blizzard's so slow. He didn't actually use a shield that time, so that was useful, and I go to Lantern to take the next Blizzard because I resist it as a water type. And that brings out a switch to the mirror match again, and I have the charge advantage. So I basically get our health about even now. And then I have to use my last shield to save my Lanterns. I can see how much his Thunderbolt will do. And I get another one off and knock it out. So then he goes back to Sand Slash, and I'm almost able to finish it off with a water gun, but he's barely able to get a bulldoze off to knock me out. And then Skarmory finishes off right as it comes in. And now it's a mirror match, but I have the charged Sky Attack ready, and it's not very effective, but it's the best I can do right now because my last Pokemon's Altaria. He gets his off. I'm able to survive another one to get him down enough that it's in range for Altaria to finish him off. I'm knocked out, and he has one charged up, but not enough to do too much damage to me. Even the second one I can survive, and I finish it off with Dragon Breath, luckily. Next, Norlander Juno's using an off-meta team to counter what basically everyone's using, and I feel good with Lantern beating basically half his team, and Wishcash for the Jolteon, and then Altaria to counter his Razor Leaf user, Torterra. And off the bat, I do have the good matchup against Steelix, and that forces a switch to Torterra, which is great because now I have him locked in with Altaria able to farm energy. But since I don't see it a lot, I forgot what its moves are for a second, and right as I remembered, it was too late to shield a Stone Edge, so there goes my plan. I have to use a Sky Attack, get him to burn a shield at first, wear him down with Dragon Breath, and then able to get one more before I faint. And that knocks him out and puts me back in the Steelix versus Lantern matchup. I got him down to one shield now at least. I decided to just go for the Hydro Pump in case he doesn't want to use it right away, but he does, and then now I have to use one because I know an Earthquake's coming against my electric type. But I force a switch, and I'm still in a good position against Charizard. Even though Dragon Claw is really fast, I think I could take it. I do, and then I have a Thunderbolt that's super effective to knock him out. And last is just Steelix now. It's pretty much done. I have Wishcash with Mud Bomb, so I can finish this off after one shield that's not even super effective. And then for the next battle, I'm anticipating him going with his Wishcash to counter my Lantern. So I'm going to go with Altaria, and he does go Wishcash. And assuming it's Mudshot, I double resist his fast move, and Blizzard takes a little while to get to. So I don't have to worry about this. It's too fast, so Mud Bomb's double resisted. I go for the Sky Attack, take out a good chunk of his health, forces a switch. And I'm a little afraid of Dragon Claw for Altaria, so I go to Lantern, which obviously is a good matchup again, and he's locked into the Charizard after the switch. So I can take this and just feint it with my fast moves, and I have my charge ready for whatever comes in next. It's Jolteon, and I can hit it for neutral damage with Hydro Pump, but he uses a shield. And I'm taking just neutral damage here, but I want to keep Lantern alive a little bit more, so I use my first shield, wear it down with Water Gun a bit, and he's so low, I go for the Thunderbolt, even though it's not very effective, and at least I burn a shield. And then, again, I'm just wearing it down with Water Gun, and I can just come in with Altaria, and I know Thunderbolt's neutral, but I just go for the shield anyways. I know Wishcash is his last Pokemon, so I'm not worried there. And on to the finals, and we had a long time to look at each other's teams because we were waiting for everyone else to watch us, and it seemed like he might go with Skarmory as a lead because of his comments about his having better IVs than mine based on the CP. So I thought about going Lantern, but ultimately I stuck with my first choice of going Skarmory in case he goes Celio and Body Slam, but it's the mirror match. And we know how this goes with none of our attacks being very effective. And you're not going to use a shield at all unless you're close to fainting and have charge saved up. So because of that, after the initial Sky Attack, I'm going to try and surprise him by going with the higher energy and higher damage Flash Cannon. And because of that, he takes a big hit here. And I have the advantage in health, but I'm not going to use the shield here. So I'm just going to come back in with Lantern. And he's going to go to Quagsire because of that. It's not a bad matchup. But I had the switch glitch, so I just went to Altaria to double resist its ground moves. I do have to use a shield there against Stone Edge, but I'm able to get Sky Attack pretty quick, force him to use a shield as well. And then I have to use my second, which isn't great, but I'm doing heavy damage with Dragon Breath anyway. And then I can take one Stone Edge, and then get a sky attack to burn his second shield at least. And now I'm almost about to knock it out, but he gets one more Stone Edge. Finished me off there, but Lantern knocks it out with one hit. And I have a lot of energy saved up for his Altaria, and Thunderbolt does a surprising amount of damage for a neutral hit. And then I luckily resist his Sky Attack because he didn't have time to get the Dragon Pulse, and I get one more Thunderbolt, and it's just enough to win. And then I was pretty dumb sticking with Skarmory as my lead, even though I should have known he'd go Lantern to counter it. I did add a Abomasnow to my team for the first time to beat his water types though, but I fell into the trap I was trying to do in other people of getting it switch locked into a flying type. I have to use a shield here because I was just about to get Outrage off, so I at least get him to burn a shield, and that was basically the sacrifice of Abomasnow here. Did get halfway down at least with the hard-hitting Razor Leaf. We get the Lantern Skarmory matchup again. We've seen how this plays out. I resist his flying attacks, and I go Thunderbolt, and that makes him burn his second shield, surprisingly. And then he comes in with his already charged, hits me pretty hard. And with him using Charge Beam instead of Water Gun, he gets another one that makes me use my second shield because I'm about to get my Thunderbolt off. And like I said, he has no more shield, so that almost takes him down. I knock it out. I'm just about knocked out myself. He has Altaria left. I have Skarmory, which does win this matchup, but I don't know if I can take it out and his remaining Skarmory. And we exchange some Sky attacks. I'm resisting his attacks at least, but he's going to have some more charge on his last Skarmory and gets his Sky attack. Before I can get one more off, he gets another one, and that's this round. And then after a lot of consideration, I decide that Lantern's probably the safest lead I can go with, and for the final match I want to go safe, and it's a mirror match. And like we saw before, he has Charge Beam while I have Water Gun, so I'll hit him harder. He'll get a little bit more of a charge, but surprisingly he doesn't use his Thunderbolt right away, so I get mine first that he uses his shield on. And I decided to tank the first one, and I see how much it's going to do. Then he has a second one ready right away because of that Charge Beam I talked about, so I do end up using a shield. I decided to switch out to Altaria, and he switches out to his Altaria, but I have the charge advantage now. And he uses his second shield. And then I decide I'm going to use my second shield as well because I don't know what his third Pokemon is still. And I get my second Sky attack off, finish him off, and I have some charge for a Skarmory, which is a tough matchup, but I'm able to get one more Sky attack off before I faint. And then I have Lantern still, and Thunderbolt's ready to go and one-shots him. So he's just down to his Lantern now. He has Thunderbolt ready to knock mine out, but I have Froslass at full health. And I know at his low health, I just need to get to one Shadow Ball. And there it is. And that's the ball game. Thanks again to the PokeGators for hosting. I finally got my first Silph Arena Cup win after some close calls, and it felt good.